The skill set you choose to build can greatly affect the quality of your life. You have to intentionally build a skill set that doesn't just put you ahead of your peers, but tips the odds in your favor. I'm Lily Mante, an electrical engineering student, and on this channel, I'm exploring growth through productive systems, habits, tools, and reflections. In this video, I'll be sharing the skills I'm deliberately building to future-proof myself as an ambitious young person. Think of it as a universal skill set that applies to all domains. I like to group these skills into 4 different buckets, but there's one skill that ties everything together, and learning that one skill would 10x your output and give you results fast. Now, let's get into the video. Now, the first bucket of skills is what I like to call thinking skills, and this bucket contains 3 skills. The very first skill is critical thinking. Critical thinking helps you analyze, identify, and solve problems logically. Especially in this day and age where information is abundant, having the skill of critical thinking helps you sort through information and find out what is relevant. The second skill in this bucket is problem solving and creative thinking. Problem solving helps you identify problems, brainstorm and analyze answers, and choose the best solutions. Thinking creatively helps you solve problems in ways that are unique to you and the insights that you have. Problem solving and creative thinking is a skill that would help you survive and make it through most of the problems you will definitely encounter. The third skill in this bucket is effective decision making and strategic thinking. Day in, day out, you're faced with thousands of decisions. Learning how to make the right decisions and move on from bad ones is a very important skill. It is not only going to help you in your life, but it's also going to help you in your career as well. So how do you build this bucket of skills? Look for situations that force you to think critically. You could give yourself critical thinking exercises or put yourself in situations at work or in school that require you to think deeply. You could also develop your creative thinking abilities by giving yourself constraints to think within and try to look for solutions within those constraints. Now, the second bucket contains skills most people like to talk about. I like to call them leverage skills. And in this bucket, there are 4 skills. The first skill in this bucket is hard skills. Skills that you can leverage to make money actively or passively. Skills like project management, web development, app development, digital marketing, graphic design, and so many others are the skills that if you learn, you're going to use them to generate income. You can also consider learning other high income skills that are of interest to you. The second skill in this bucket is marketing, the art of learning how to sell and persuade people. Look, at some point you might want to sell your own product or somebody else's product, and learning how to sell helps you pitch your ideas to investors, potential buyers, clients, or future customers. Now, this is one skill I wouldn't advise you sleep on at all. If there's any skill you pick from this bucket, it has to be this skill. The third skill in this bucket is computer literacy and AI fluency. Understanding the basics of how computers work and being able to use software that make work easy, like Google Workspace, Notion, and other software is one skill you should learn. You should also consider learning AI tools that are emerging in your industry and AI tools that help make work faster, better, and more efficient. Now, the fourth skill in this bucket is basic troubleshooting. What troubleshooting does for you is it helps you identify problems, mitigate losses, and increase productivity. If you're able to troubleshoot a problem early on, you're able to save the problem from getting worse later on. Learning how to troubleshoot things like your own phone, your own PC, or devices that you use on a daily basis can really help you save time, money, and prevent them from getting worse. How can you learn the skills in this bucket? So if you pick the hard skills, you can consider taking online courses or in-person classes in whatever high-income hard skill you want to learn. When it comes to the skill of marketing, you can consider reading books on that and putting yourself in situations where you have to sell something. When it comes to the skill of computer literacy and AI fluency, you have to make time to explore some of the software and tools on your PC. Learning how to type especially is one skill you shouldn't sleep on. Now, how do you learn the skill of basic troubleshooting? You could always go online and read user manuals, watch tutorials, and understand the simple procedures you can take if you're to face or run into a problem. Now, the third bucket of skills is a personal favorite that I'm actively building. I like to call these skills communication skills, and this bucket has 3 skills. The first skill is public speaking. Learn how to speak in public. This one skill is going to transform your career and your personal development, because being able to even overcome the fear of speaking in public is one thing most people are unable to do. And getting that confidence to speak in public gives you the chance to pitch your ideas, put yourself out there, and improve your influence. Public speaking is one skill you should definitely learn before the year ends. The second skill in this bucket is clear communication. Learn how to communicate clearly. People's attention are very valuable, and you don't want to waste the time they give you to talk to them saying things that don't really matter. Learn how to speak with clarity and put forward your ideas clearly. Learn how to communicate what you feel, what you like, what you don't like, and boundaries that you expect people to follow. Communicating with clarity prevents confusion and makes people respect you more. Because when you speak with clarity, people don't just hear you, they respect your presence. Now, the third skill in this bucket is storytelling. Learn how to tell stories. Now, it might seem interesting why storytelling made it to this list, but I think it's pretty obvious. Storytelling helps you persuade, helps you teach, helps you entertain, and makes you a better communicator overall. Sometimes it's hard for us to relate to the numbers and the facts, but stringing them together and putting the message into a beautifully told story can make your message a lot more clearer, and it can make it land better. Now, how do you build this bucket of skills? Public speaking. Take up opportunities to speak in public. If it's leading a presentation in class, leading a presentation at the workplace, putting yourself out there and giving a speech at an event, put yourself in those situations. To learn how to communicate clearly, learn to speak in frameworks. We have very good resources both online and in books that can help you communicate clearly. Now, learning the skill of storytelling. You can check out content creators that you are inspired by and study their storytelling style. Consider also trying to incorporate more stories in your daily communication, and anytime you want a message to be more memorable or anytime you want your message to land. Now, the fourth bucket of skills is a bucket you shouldn't sleep on. I like to call them life skills. And in this bucket, there are 4 skills. The first skill in this bucket is personal finance. Look, I cannot stress how much you need to know how to manage your personal finances, because money is going to be one of the major things that you need to survive, especially in this economy. Learning how to manage your finances will help you build wealth and work towards the future that you truly want. It will also help you work towards time freedom and any other goal that you have in mind. Learning how to manage your finances would not only help you build wealth, but would also help you work towards the financial goals you set for yourself, like buying a house or getting a car. Now, the second skill in this bucket is self-management. Look, you are the captain of your own ship, and I think you should learn how to steer that ship. Self-management involves learning skills that help you understand how you behave in situations, that help you understand how you focus on your objectives, how you set goals, and your attitude towards work overall. Learning how to manage yourself is a key skill that helps you adapt in work environments and personal environments, and it's going to determine how well you see through most of the goals that you've set for yourself. Now, the third skill in this bucket is adaptability. Look, you are going to be faced with changes, and nobody really likes the idea of change. But learning how to adapt and learning how to move with change is one skill that is going to set you apart. The ability to adapt and fit into any new environment smoothly is one skill that would help you as you change careers, as you change workplaces, and even as you start to move on and live with somebody in the long run. That is if you plan on getting married, of course. The fourth skill in this bucket is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence encompasses understanding and regulating your own emotions and also understanding and regulating the emotions of others. What emotional intelligence does for you is it helps you build better collaboration and it builds trust, leading to better output not only at work but even within your own personal relationships and in your own life. How can you go about building this bucket of skills? First off, you have to spend time learning about each area. When it comes to the area of personal finance, invest in personal finance books. Talk to experts and people who have already been where you want to be in terms of finances and get their insights on that. When it comes to emotional intelligence, self-management, adaptability, these are skills you learn as you go. But gaining insight from books and resources can help you know how to behave when you find yourself in situations that require you to be emotionally intelligent, situations that require you to adapt, or situations that require you to manage yourself. Now, I did mention that there was one skill that ties everything together, and that skill is the skill of learning how to learn. Look, learning and understanding how to learn is the best skill that you can get for yourself, especially in this day and age where information is abundant. How fast can you learn? How much can you understand in a given time? Being able to know how to learn and learn the important stuff fast is a skill that you need to build intentionally. I believe you should dedicate time to learning this one skill of learning how to learn, because not only is it going to help you learn the other skills I've mentioned in this bucket, and it's also going to give you a competitive edge in this age of information. In summary, think of this as building your universal skill set that applies to all domains and any area of life that you need success in. Think of the 4 buckets of skills, which are thinking skills, leverage skills, communication skills, and life skills. And as you look for skills to add to your skill set, think of picking skills from each bucket and building a skill set that would future-proof you for success. I'll see you in the next one.